Good morning, everyone. We will now begin the morning service of the Miroku Association headquarters, asking God and Meishu-sama to protect and bless us as we participate today in the construction of paradise on earth. Amatsu-Norito and Miroku Prayer, please stand. Taka ni kamsumarimasu. Kamurogi kamuromi no mikoto mojite. Sumemi oya kamo izanagi no mikoto. Tsukushi no imukano tachi hananu. Odono awagi harani. Misogi harai tamo toki ni narimaseru. Harai dono okami tachi moro moro no magagoto tsumi kegare o. Harai tamai kiyome tamae tomao sukoto no yoshio. Amatsu kami kunitsu kami yao yorozu no kami tachi tomo ni ame no fuji koma no mimi 우리 따뜻해 기뻐심 내세도 가시코미 마오스 미로쿠 오미 카미 마모리 타마에 사키하에 타마에 미로쿠 오미 카미 마모리 타마에 사키하에 타마에 오시에 미요야 누시노 카미 마모리 타마에 사키하에 타마에 오시에 미요야 누시노 카미 마모리 타마에 사키하에 타마에 Kamnagara tamachi haemase. Kamnagara tamachi haemase. Great God of light, creator and giver of all life, in accordance with your divine will, the long age of night draws to an end. Your radiant divine light, shining ever more brilliantly, awakens the dawn of the glorious age of light, a time long awaited by all humanity. We thank you for guiding us to your divine plan, and for the privilege of channeling and receiving Johrei. May our spirits and bodies be illuminated and purified as we live your truths given to us by Meishu-sama. Make us pure and effective instruments of your divine light, so that we may serve you and all those with whom we come in contact. May paradise on earth be realized, with health, peace, and prosperity, a reality in our lives. Great God of light, bless and protect us. Radiate our souls with your divine light, so that we may truly become instruments of your great plan. Please be seated. We will now receive group Johrei.
Obrigado, Meishu-sama. Bless you.
Johrei is now concluded. We will now listen to a reading from Meishu-sama's teachings. Happiness. In their pursuit of happiness, many attempt to grasp by relying on material things, but what they seek is not there. How pitiful are those who cut the ties of happiness of their own accord and choose instead to take the world to hell. Civilization does not bring happiness. Today's world is a civilization humanity has created for itself. Endeavoring to make others happy is absolutely required in order to achieve happiness for ourselves. However, there are too many individuals in this world who think only of attaining happiness for themselves without giving thought to the unhappy states of others. This is truly foolish attitude because in trying to reap the fruits of happiness, they are sowing the seeds of unhappiness. The true objective of spiritual teachings is to implant in one's mind a love for others, a desire to work for the welfare of others. God has given people complete freedom of choice. Our innate value and dignity lie in this gift, which causes us to differ from animals. Each person is free to elevate himself or herself and so approach divinity, just as each is free to drop to the level of the beasts. Under normal conditions, a person is at neither extreme, but is somewhere between. Through their own choice and efforts, people bring about conditions of either happiness or suffering here on earth.
Good morning, everyone. Thank you for joining this morning service of the Miroku Association headquarters. I'd like to share a faith experience from Julia de Paula Vicente. She's from the Lisbon Johrei Center, Portugal. Julia has been a Johrei member for 22 years, and she belongs to the Lisbon Johrei Center. She immigrated to Portugal with a strong intention to give service at the church at least once a week. When talking to the minister, he instructed her to go to the altar to report to God and Meishu-sama her desire to fulfill her mission in Portugal, assuming committed hours on Tuesday mornings. She needed a job and therefore she began distributing her resume. It didn't take long for her to be called to work in the catering sector. And for 4 months, she went through 4 different restaurants, feeling that she couldn't take it for long as it was so tiring for her. Even with many difficulties, without a residence permit, and being an immigrant, she directed her son to find a job in her area of expertise, which is business administration. During the same period, she further intensified her dedication to Ikebana Sangetsu. So whenever she went to church, she began delivering an average of 5 flowers of light to the passers-by in front of the Johrei Center, aiming for the happiness of others. To her surprise and joy, she was hired to work at a rugby club in Lisbon to take on a role within her professional area. After a few months, she started to have serious relationship problems with the president of the club, which led her to get discouraged and look for new job opportunities. In the meantime, she was called for an interview for another job, which would be to work in the commercial area. Julia was very happy because it was the opportunity to change her work environment She soon talked about it to her parents and some friends who showed some concern. Julia listened to their advice, but the chance to be able to change jobs was a motive of great happiness for her. The interview was scheduled on the same day as her committed hours at the center. Despite of that, she decided to go to church first to pray and express her gratitude, surrendering the whole situation in the hands of God and Meishu-sama. She went to the interview and began reflecting deeply. Then, a strong feeling of gratitude for her current job started to sprout in her feelings because little by little she began to see several positive points, something she couldn't see before. Thus, she ended up making the decision to stay in the same job she had. A week after this situation, the country in Portugal entered a state of emergency and the club was closed. And Julia is the only employee who remains working behind closed doors, dealing with pending administrative matters. At this moment, her gratitude was immense. She was perplexed to think that if she had resigned from this job, as she wanted to do before, then she handled the situation over to God and Meishu-sama. So if she wouldn't do that, she would certainly have been unemployed. Soon after, her first action was to make a bank transfer to the church's account as part of a special donation of gratitude for this protection received from God and Meishu-sama. With this experience, Julia learned how important it is in any situation to focus on the positive points to develop feelings of gratitude. Furthermore, she also realized the importance of reporting to God and Meishu-sama, handing everything into his hands, along with a donation of gratitude before any decision was taken. Julie is very thankful to God and Meishu-sama for allowing her to be a useful instrument through various practices of faith to channel his light to many people. And I would like to share another experience with you. This one is from Regilane do Amaral. She's from Jacarepaguá, Brazil. Regilane has always been way above her ideal weight. She's a little less than 5 feet tall and weighed 176 pounds. She has tried countless diets without success. She was very anxious and couldn't control her food cravings. She suffered a lot with stretch marks in the lower abdomen. In 2014, they flared up and burst. This opened up wounds that turned into ulcers. Present severe pain, rashes, and intense itching. She used several healing ointments that caused allergies, aggravating the inflammation, which made her stop using them. Zilani went to several doctors who only told her what she already knew, that she needed to lose weight, and she felt even more miserable. Every time this happened, the anxiety intensified, and she gained even more weight. In early 2015, when passing by bus in front of the Johrei Center near her home, she got off on impulse and entered the center. She had already heard about our church and decided to get to know it more. She was very well received by a missionary who gave her Johrei. That night she had a peaceful sleep, something that hadn't happened in a long time. The next day she felt fine. 2 days later, she opened her heart completely to the missionary and told her everything that was causing her pain and suffering. Hijilani was introduced to receive an hour of Johrei, was instructed to receive 1 hour of Johrei a day, and to consume products from nature farming and organic sources. She followed the recommendation, and her condition was reversed. The wounds have healed. At the same time, she began to lose weight, which made her very happy and hopeful. She used to be very bitter, sad, and whining all the time. Little by little, she changed. She felt more motivated. happy and grateful. Her constant state of irritation and impatience created conflicts in her home. With her change, relationships around her improved a lot. People near her noticed her transformation and wanted to get to know our church. Thus, she had the opportunity to guide some friends to the Johrei Center, and two of them became Johrei members. In September 2015, with the wounds completely healed and feeling emotionally calm, she decided to make herself useful to others through the channeling of Johrei and was blessed to receive the sacred focal point Ohikari. By taking care of her spirituality through dedication and her health by maintaining a diet rich in vital energy and physical activities, she gradually lost weight, and in about a year, she lost 84 pounds. She's immensely grateful to God and Meishu-sama because Johrei, in our other practices of faith that she learned in our church, completely changed her life. Vigilante is currently in very good physical and emotional health. She gives service as a family assistant and takes the course on Johrei and spirituality. She aims to better qualify herself to be, in an increasingly fashion, a useful instrument for the divine work in the salvation of the greatest number of people. Thank you very much for listening to these faith experiences. I wish you a very wonderful day. Thank you very much.
This brings to a conclusion of our morning service. Thank you, everyone, for joining us, and have a blessed day.